So guys, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit more books. Now, in this past week, I kind of more focused on novels and not manga and comics, and I kind of want to shift the focus back to that because I haven't really had the time to go back and focus on that stuff. So this week we're probably going to focus more on comics and manga. Now, a couple comics that we're going to focus on is going to be we're probably going to catch up on my Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess manga, which I've literally had forever and it's been sitting there. And I just need to get back on that, and I want to finish this out. So we're gonna probably read this. If you guys are interested, feel free to read this with me. Oh, I got an Oreo right here. Let's move that. So on top of that, we're gonna hop back on the Daredevil because I have not been keeping up with this, and I really need to. Now, if you guys don't know Daredevil that much, he is blind and he's a superhero, and he's just blind, but he has like sonar abilities, I should say. It's interesting. If you guys don't know who Daredevil is, definitely give him a shot. You're probably gonna like the inner turmoil he has and like a lot of like the character building in his comics. But I think he's very interesting. Here's the comic book cover, and I believe it's by Chip Zdarsky. I forget. Yeah, we talked about this before. So this is by Chip Zdarsky. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now this one's a little bit big. This is a fat one. We're going to be reading this. This is the Hawkeye, the saga of, I believe, is that Barton Bishop? Yeah. This is about Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. Now, the art style is very interesting. I love the art style for this comic series. You can't really like tell, but like the comic book art style is much different than modern. I feel like I've kind of read a little bit of this. But it's very like, I don't know. I feel like it's very like down to earth and very grounded. But it's also like comic. It's kind of like comic and comedy. It's very different art style, and I'm not used to it, but I love it. So I'm gonna read more of that. I already read the first 3 issues of it, and I got the big book because they put it all in one book. So my comic book shop insisted that I buy the bigger one instead. Now, I don't know if I showed this on last review. This is the Cosmic Ghost Rider. I was very interested in this, and I was like, hey, you know what? I guess I'll give this a try. And we also have, it says Baby Thanos must die. I think he goes back in time to kill Baby Thanos. I have actually no clue. But right now there's 2. I believe this one is like, hey, if you don't know anything about the Cosmic Ghost Rider, he is at one point the Punisher. Like, Frank Castle is the Punisher, and he becomes the Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's very interesting how they originally brought around the Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's very out there, so I'm not going to explain it all right now. But basically, there's a second Cosmic Ghost Rider going around, and he comes back into action. That's what I think this is about. That's what it says on the back. So we're gonna get into that, and I was like very interested in it because I also think Ghost Rider's a pretty cool character. Now, let's do a little book review. Now, I'm going to put a picture up because I don't have it with me, but before this, we read Before Your Memory Fades. That book was fantastic. I loved that book so much. I love this author. Like, this author is fantastic, and what's really weird enough is that Before the Memory Fades was the 3rd book in the series, and I just picked it up, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read this, and we're gonna give it a shot. Now, I think it's really funny because I read Before Your Coffee Gets Cold, and then I read the 3rd book in the series. So what's weird, though, is that it picks up right off where the 1st book left off. So it's like I'm thinking to myself, what is the second one going to talk about? But the second one does touch on some stuff, which I think is very cool. If you guys have read it, I'm going to give a little synopsis or a little kind of like my opinions on the characters. If you want to skip this, I'll put the timestamp in so you guys can skip it. But yeah, I think that my favorite character is definitely Kazu Tokita, and you get to see how like the events in the cafe and how like her life growing up has changed how she acts. Because in the 3rd book, she's very different from what she's like in the 1st and 2nd book. She's very loving and caring, and she actually has a daughter in the 3rd book. I loved that. And going back into the 2nd book, you get to see how she becomes that type of person, and I was really like, I want to see how this is. it's also really funny that in the third book it's just like, oh, you pick up from where Nagade was on the phone, and that's like, it was just cool to see all of it mixed together. But the first and second book take place in the same Tokyo cafe. I think Funicula that's the name of it. But the third book takes place, and I forget the exact Hakodate. It takes place in Hakodate. I just think it's really cool to have like a change of scenery. It's good for the first and second book, I guess, to be grounded and kind of like the same, but it's also like kind of weird because it's like you're gonna run out of stuff, I feel like. So I'm glad that they changed the scenery for the third book. Now the fourth book coming out is in November 14th, 2023. I'm very excited about it. It just sucks that it's so far away. I believe it's already out, but it's like right now just being translated. So I'm looking really forward to that. We're gonna reel away from the third book in this entry, and we're gonna come to the one that I've been reading for this week, and the one that you guys should pick up if you guys are interested in following with me. So right now we're reading Tales from the Cafe. I'm probably gonna be able to finish this today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm like halfway through right now. This book is fantastic. Now this is the one that I was like, hey, you get to see how Kazu becomes the person she is in the future in the third book. I am very interested to see, because there's a lot of plot changes from the first to the second book, and they kind of added on some more things that I like. I like the additions, but they have like a different regular, and they also the lady that still reads the books is still there. Now it's very like necessary for that, so I'm really happy with how it is. But I can't wait to finish this book up, and I guess wait for the fourth book. But if you guys finish this book fast enough, definitely the next like novel we're gonna read, and we're probably not gonna touch on this in a while because let me see how many pages this is. It's around like 277. That's actually not bad. This is kind of quick. I could probably get through this. The next novel we're gonna read is The Road by I'm trying to get that straight. Okay, there we go. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Now this one, so the reason that I picked it up is just because I was like, hey, like I'm like, I like The Last of Us, and it kind of seemed, this is gonna be weird, but it kind of seems like The Last of Us when I read the back of it. I'll read the summary of it, and you guys tell me if you like it in the comments. A father and his son walk alone through burned America. Nothing moves in the ravaged landscape save the ash on the wind. It is cold enough to crack stones, and when the snow falls, it is gray. The sky is dark. Their destination is the coast, although they don't know what, if anything, awaits them there. They have nothing, just a pistol to defend themselves against the lawless bands that stalk the road. The clothes they are wearing, a cart of scavenged food, and each other. The Road is the profoundly moving story of a journey. It boldly imagines a future in which no hope remains, but in which the father and his son, each the other's world entire, are sustained by love. Awesome in the totality of its vision, The Road is an unflinching meditation on the worst and the best that we are capable of. Ultimate destructiveness, desperate tenacity, and the tenderness that keeps two people alive in the face of total devastation. So the reason that I'm like, hey, this kind of sounds like The Last of Us, but like actually pretty epic, I'm not saying that it doesn't crack The Last of Us, I love The Last of Us, was because it's a father and a son at the end of the world, and The Last of Us I feel like is kind of like that. That's the only really reason that I said it was similar. I'm really excited to read this. It gives me time to like, hey, like this is what you should be reading in time until the fourth book comes out, but that's whatever, you know, we'll wait as long as we have to, right? But yeah, no, this is what we'll be reading next after I finish the yellow book. So I'm probably not going to touch on this until like 2 or 3 weeks out, but just so you guys know, I will be reading this. Also, this is not sponsored, but I've been using an app called Goodreads. That's where I kind of track what books I've read. So if you guys want to get that and follow me, I'll put my handle down in the comments, and or I'll put it up in this video, and you guys can go follow me. But yeah, that's how I've been like keeping track of my books, and I put my progress there as well, so you guys can see like what I'm reading before I put these out. So if you guys want to do that, you can, but if you like the surprise, don't follow. But yeah, I'm really excited to finish Tales from the Cafe, and I'm really excited to start The Road. But this week we're probably gonna shift our focus more to comics and try and like bang out a bunch of the ones that I have right now, because I have a lot left over. I have a lot to read. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it. If you guys like me having this separate from my video game videos, tell me in the comments. I started doing it because I had a couple requests to separate it from, to separate these videos from my gaming videos because of how the tone shifts and how I'm presenting myself. So I'm glad that I can have people reach out and give me that criticism. So if you guys, if you have more criticism or if you guys have some suggestions, feel free to put it in the comments or put it in my Discord. My Discord invitation is always in the bottom of my videos. And also, I'm gonna try and keep this as a weekly thing. If I tell you guys like, hey, I won't touch on a book, I'll tell you guys that. And not just that, but I'm gonna try and give this like a little bit of a theme and more of like a book club vibe. And if you guys, like that, and you guys like being part of a book club, feel free to like join the Discord. I can definitely make a different category, and we can just talk about books in there and talk about upcoming books. But all right, guys, if you guys like this video, give me a like, comment, and it really helps me out. It can tell me what book you guys are reading at this moment in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. What is going on, everybody? If you guys like today's video, please like, it really helps me out, and also subscribe, because that also really helps me out. Comment as well. I like to see what you guys have to say, and I also actually respond and reply to comments. So you can subscribe by hitting this icon right here, or you can look at the newest video I made by looking at this right here. Yeah, you can click on that. We'll see you guys in the next video or next stream. I do stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. Go check that out, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.